hold up, bad blood, a bad blood, there's about to be a massacre, so hold up, blood on the floor, blood on the speakers, fist pump, pump, pumping bad blood through the speakers, bad blood.
What's going on, guys? We're talking college sports in the Deep South, where college football is king, and we would like to think that the SEC is the best conference in college football, and the SEC West is arguably one of the best sub-conferences in college football. Guys and gals, we want to welcome you to Vernon Speaks Sports, mostly talking about Auburn football and the rest of the SEC. I want to give a shout out to my fearless and true gang to get it real active in the comment section. War Eagle. All right, so the morning or the day after the A-Day game, okay, when you talk about, what we expected going in, all the speculations and all of the narratives that surrounded everything leading up to the A-Day game, there were some things that we thought coming in, and then there were some things we left like, oh man, this was totally different than what I expected. So when I think about this, it took my mind in a couple of different directions. I was watching the A-Day game and I was very positively intrigued about what I saw in the A-Day game. Also equally opposite, intrigued by what I wasn't able to see because the players weren't available. Also, you can check out my appearance on Mark Rogers TV. I did a segment today on Auburn spring game and what I thought about that. If you want to go by there and check Mark Rogers TV out, also got some information on SG1 Sports SEC, some very powerful, positive college football content, especially as it relates to Auburn University and the SEC. We are all SEC fans for the most part. So when I think about the A-Day game and some of the narratives that were brought to the forefront, I think about the quarterback position. Now, based on the performances of all of the guys involved, Cord Sandberg, Malik Willis, Joey Gatewood, and Bo Nix, I was impressed in some form by all four guys. If the headline came out, say, hey, Cord Sandberg is a starter, I wouldn't necessarily be upset because I think the offense can still go. Now, when you talk about preferences, I would say my personal preference would be between Bo Nix and Malik Willis at this point. I like Joey Gatewood still as well, but these are some of the narratives that have changed since, the spring game took place. I just did not think I would see what I saw out of Malik Willis. I mean, I was absolutely impressed, and I think the media is still trying to continue to push the Bo Nix and Joey Gatewood narrative that that it's a two-man race at this point. I think that is not necessarily true, because Malik Willis performed the way he did perform against the ones on defense. I think Malik Willis, who's to say? He may not start, game one in the Abercare Classic. He may never take any significant any significant snaps for Auburn, but I can't discount the skill set that I saw on film yesterday in the A-Day game. Very pleasantly surprised by what I saw out of Malik Willis. Another thing that I, casually going into this A-Day game, I did not think Bo Nix would take the command that he did take. He does not look like a freshman quarterback. He looks like he's well in command. He looks like a very well coached quarterback. Of course, he is under the watch of his father, Patrick Nix. Led Pinson Valley High School to 2 consecutive state championships in the state of Alabama. Also garnished the coveted title of Mr. Alabama because of his efforts, record-breaking passing yards. You can tell that the young man is accustomed to winning and accustomed to leadership. He brought those attributes to the A-Day game. Big shout out to Bo Nix, Mr. Football for the state of Alabama, one of the best recruited quarterbacks out of the state of Alabama ever. 5-star recruit. Yes, sir. Anyway, we also look at Joey Gatewood. Man, I saw an interesting skill set. I would have loved to have seen this young man in live action. I wanted to see what that physicality looks like for Joey Gatewood. But either way, this quarterback battle is still open going into the summer practices and on into the fall. War Eagle, man, I was really excited about that. Probably the most talented quarterback battle I have ever seen in my entire football life. Okay, so when we go to the running back situation now, I came in thinking I was going to see a little bit of, Cam Martin, Boobie Whitlow, things of that nature. But, man, I was really shocked at what DJ Williams brought to the table. It made me forget all about the loss of Asa Martin. I think DJ Williams has a chance to be a big-time player at Auburn University. Was very impressed with his approach to the line of scrimmage. He wants that smoke, baby. He wants that, he wants that contact. He wants to be an every down back. He showed that he wants to play an integral role in what Auburn is going to accomplish this fall. Also, I love the fact that it appears that I was a little iffy on Boobie Whitlow, but from everything I've seen, he has been coached during the course of this spring. That I'm starting to see, footprints of Carnell Williams' coaching ability, because there were some runs that Boobie Whitlow made in this A-Day game that I can tell he has been redirected as far as technique goes. Big shout out to Carnell Williams, Kenny Dillingham, and Gus Malzahn staff for making this happen. That's what I wanted to see out of Boobie Whitlow. I wasn't expecting to see it, but I saw it and I was pleasantly surprised. All right, so when we transition over, nope, I'm not going to go to the defense yet. I absolutely love what I saw from Seth Williams. Okay, now Seth Williams was a true freshman last year. He did not have the benefit of participating in spring practice. He was fresh off the school bus in the fall and came on the scene, had to take an immediate role because of the departure of, there was a wide receiver that, decided that he did not want to be with the program anymore. So Seth Williams had to, take over, wide receiver wise. Had to take over for Nate Craig Myers. Nate Craig Myers decided to leave the program, in addition to the fact that Eli Stove and Will Hastings were injured. So Seth Williams had to take on the torch and had to do something that he probably wasn't even expecting to do, but perform well. But this spring game, he showed a great deal of confidence, and he showed, hey, man, I am the premier receiver on Auburn's team. I was expecting a little bit more from Sal Cannella. We probably will see Sal Cannella more in the process once things get going. I was very impressed with Matthew Hill, actually, who made an incredible catch. So the wide receivers are okay. So now we transition over to the defense. I'm going to tell you guys, look, the first drive with the ones, I was like, all right, they're playing at 12 o'clock p.m. football. But, man, Derek Brown appeared to have gotten angry. I think he must have taken his guys into the huddle and like, look, man, this is not what we are about. And after, Derek Brown did that, man, those boys perform on a whole nother level. So I found out this coming A-Day game that this is Derek Brown's defense. When you think about Derek Brown, he performed very well, but he did not have the opportunity to be the leader that he was at the A-Day game. He was, largely, largely in the shadow of Deshaun Davis, leadership-wise. Dontavius Russell, who, had been a mainstay for quite some time. So, although Derek Brown had a lot of talent, he just didn't have that accentuation as a leader. But that showed in the A-Day game. He showed in that drive that this is my defense and this is how this thing is going to work. I was also impressed with Owen Papo. He somehow he slithers his way in to find the football. Very, very similar to Carlos Dansby from the early 2000s. Big shout out to Carlos Dansby, who was a highly touted linebacker during my tenure as a student at Auburn University. He and my line brother in Kappa Alpha Psi, Dontarius Thomas, were a huge tandem in that Auburn linebacker corps back in the day. So I think Auburn is in great hands. I will continue to follow this stuff, but I learned a lot about where the Auburn program is headed. Once again, it's K2 to go for Vernon Speaks Sports. We're talking Auburn sports as well as the rest of the SEC. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Get active in the comment section with the fearless and true gang. As always, War Eagle.